Hi, my name is Pacifica Yang, and I'm going to introduce Beijing Opera. Beijing Opera, or Peking Opera, is the most dominant form of Chinese opera, which combines music, vocal performance, mime, dance, and acrobatics. It arose in Beijing in the mid-Qing dynasty and became fully developed and recognized by the mid-19th century. The form was extremely popular in the Qing court and has come to be regarded as one of the cultural treasures of China. There are 4 roles in Peking opera: Shen, Dan, Jing, Chou. The Shen is the main male role in Beijing opera. This role has numerous subtypes. The Lao Shen is a dignified older role. These characters have a gentle and cultivated disposition and wear a sensible costume. One type of Lao Shen role is the Hong Shen, a red-faced older male. Young male characters are known as Xiao Shen. These characters sing in a high, shrill voice with occasional breaks to represent the voice-changing period of adolescence. Depending on the character's rank in society, the costume of the Xiao Shen may be either elaborate or simple. Dan refers to any female role in Beijing opera. Dan role was originally divided into 5 subtypes. Old women were played by Lao Dan. Martial women were Dan. Young female warriors were Dao Ma Dan. Virtual and elite women were Qing Yi, and vivacious and unmarried women were Hua Dan. One of Mei Lanfang's most important contributions to Beijing opera was in pioneering a 6th type of role, the Hua Shan. This role type combines the status of Qing Yi with the sensuality of the Hua Dan. Jing is a painted-faced male role. Depending on the repertoire of the particular troupe, he will play either primary or secondary roles. This type of role will entail a forceful character, so a Jing must have a strong voice and be able to exaggerate gestures. Chou is a male clown role. The Chou usually plays secondary roles in the troupe. Indeed, many studies of Beijing opera classify the Chou as a minor role. The name of the role is a homophone of the Mandarin Chinese word Chou, meaning ugly. This reflects the traditional belief that the clown's combination of ugliness and laughter could drive away evil spirit. Then I'm going to talk about the origin of Beijing Chinese opera. The birth year of Beijing opera is commonly said as 1719, the year of the 18th birthday of Qianlong Emperor. In the early years of Beijing opera, all the actors were men, with the roles of women played by young boys. In the 19th centuries, a theater district established itself in central Beijing. The playhouses will also function as tea houses, and patrons will serve food and tea as they enjoy the shows. 1900, the year of the Boxer Rebellion, marked a calamitous turning point for Beijing opera. All of the capital's great theaters were burned down during the uprising, including 2 of the original of 4 great Anhui companies, and had survived until that year. In the aftermath of the catastrophe, with the old opera companies dissolved, individual veterans stuck out on their own. Artists began to experiment with different styles, modeling traditional Beijing opera with influences from Western drama. The performances also began to take on contemporary political themes or advocate for social changes. Then I'm going to talk about the performance convention. Beijing opera follows other traditional Chinese art in emphasizing meaning rather than accuracy. The highest aim of performance is to put beauty into every motion. Hand gestures are a fundamental component of stage presence in Chinese opera. Particularly famous are the ones Mei Lanfang used to portray the attributes and actions of female characters he impersonated. The celebrated actor perfected a series of gestures and now made up what is called the Mei Lanfang's orchid style, which the famous performer practiced tirelessly in pursuit of an ideal beauty. Beijing opera performers make expressive movements with their hand, such as smoothing the beard, adjusting the head, jerking the sleeve while raising the foot. These all convey particular emotions. Some of the movements are less easily understood. For instance, if an actor quickly grasps his sleeves and then promptly puts his hands behind his back in a determined manner, this indicates he is bracing himself for something important. Sometimes a movement can go on for a long time. For instance, if an actor is conceiving a plan, his fingers and hands shake nervously by the side of his body, and when the plan is formulated, the thumbs of his fist against the other palm with a resounding smack. When expressing worry, the actor will rub his hands together for several minutes. And then, during my practical exploration, I practiced several typical hand gestures. First one means sword, and it is often used in a battle scene. And this one is when a female character pointing at something hollowly. This is also used in battle scene, means the characters are defending themselves. And this is the typical orchid finger that Melan Fang introduced to Beijing opera. This is when a female character is holding something, and this fist is also used in battle scene. The moment that I'm going to apply my exploration of hand gestures is called Mu Guiying takes command. Mu Guiying is a legendary heroine from ancient China's North and Song dynasty, and a prominent figure in the genres of Yang family legend. He is the wife of Yang Zongbao and mother of Yang Weiguang. Brave, resolute, and loyal, Mu is the cultural symbol of a steadfast woman. Then I'm going to show a moment from Mu Guiying takes command. This is the moment when Mu Guiying changes from before attend the war and after attend the war. Before the war, her gestures were more like this orchid fingers, showing her femininity. But after the war, she uses a lot of sword gestures or this gesture or even the fist to show that she is attending the war and strengthen her masculinity. The impact on me as a learner and performer. So firstly, as a learner, doing such detailed research into one aspect really made me realize how important it is to select sources, because I have to go through different sources and some of them are useful while some of them are not. So I have to select which can help me and which are too general for my research. And also, as a Chinese student, I learn more about Chinese culture, and it connects me to my culture and my identity more. Also, there are a lot of challenges I faced during this project. So when I was studying the gestures, some of them are really abstract to imagine because I only have the words. So I have to look up some pictures or even videos to learn those gestures precisely. And as a performer, I really understand how important physical movements are in theater. Previously, I thought only words are important to convey emotion and meaning. While doing this research, I understand that gestures can convey a lot of meanings and text that words cannot. Also, I have attended a workshop at Easter in New York, during which I also learned about Beijing opera. But at that workshop, I learned more about the feet steps and how the emotions are expressed through the movement of feet. But during this project, I learned more about the hand gestures, which make me have a more thorough understanding of Beijing opera. And the last is comparison of Beijing opera to Kathakali. So Kathakali is a major form of classical Indian dance. It is a story play genre of art, but one distinguished by the elaborate colorful makeup, costume, and face mask that the traditionally male actor dancers wear. Like many classical Indian arts, Kathakali is a choreography as much as it is acting. It is said to be one of the most difficult styles to execute on stage, with young artists preparing for their roles for several years before they get a chance to do it on stage. The actors speak a sign language, where the word part of the character's dialogue expressed through hand signs, which is called mudra. So, like Beijing opera, hand gestures are also used a lot in Kathakali. And mudra is a symbolic and ritual gesture or pose in Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism, as well as being spiritual gestures employed in iconography and spiritual practice of Indian religions. Mudra have meanings in many forms of Indian dance, which is in Kathakali in this case. So the difference is that in Beijing opera, hand gestures like orchid fingers are invented for the performances, while in Kathakali, hand gestures are taken from religious practice or even from yoga in order to express meaning and emotions. So in Kathakali, the hand gestures also has a religious meaning, which in Beijing opera it does not. Here is a photo of orchid finger and mudra. We can see they are very similar, that they have do a lot with fingers, and the bending with wrist and the angles with finger also express a lot. And then is my citation. Thank you for listening to my presentation on Beijing opera.